Okay? What really separates you from what you set out to do and what winds up happening? Very simple. Consistency. All right? Now, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, hugest mistake I see people make, is they have this short-term intensity for their goals. They decide they want to do something, and all of a sudden, they're trying to change everything, every bad habit, everything in their life that they have been doing wrong for 10 years overnight. Okay? And it's a short-term intensity, this euphoria of trying to get things done, and what winds up happening? They wind up doing too much, too fast, too early. Okay? And what happens? You usually see people get hurt, get burned out, or realize that they took on too much and so they cannot keep the same intensity. And then what happens? Here comes the feeling of rejection, the feeling of, oh, I did too much too fast, I can't keep up. They're trying to do too much. All right? And I can speak to this for myself. My best results for change have come from my doing a little at a time every single day. Every day I come out, I try to do a little bit more. Trying to improve 1% every day is better than trying to improve 100% in one day. Okay? You're not going to turn it all around in one day. And I was talking to, the person I was talking to yesterday was someone that, we started out in January 1st making changes, and it was small changes, okay? Because they weren't really convinced, they didn't really know what they wanted to do, all that kind of stuff like that. So I said, okay, let's start off really simple, okay? Let's just cut out a couple of things from your diet. And in this process, in this period of time of 15 days, let's cleanse and detoxify your system. But I just need for you to focus on these 3 things, okay, that you can't do during this period of time. Okay, cool. They did that. But somewhere in about a week, right, they came back to me and said, okay, well, I did the 3 things and I've been doing it well. Let's add a few more things to it. I said, no problem. We added 1 or 2 more things to it. And they went consistently for about a month. All right? And they started seeing results. They did the cleanse. I think they lost like 17 pounds in the first, 3 weeks. All right? And then, mind you, very little exercise. Okay, at that point in time, we just said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to walk 1 mile every other day, which was around about 30 minutes. It wasn't even a brisk walk. All right. By February 1st, we upped it to about 2 miles. All right. And so we're going to pick up the pace a little bit, and then we're going to add 1 or 2 more things. Okay. Upped it. Picked up the pace, added 1 or 2 more things. Here comes March 15th. March 15th, now they're down 40 pounds. All right? And it has been a slow and steady process. But now, 1 week away from the 6-month mark, right? The goal that we had set for 6 months, we've already exceeded. Down 83 pounds. It didn't happen overnight. It happened 1% every day. Okay? And if you really look at the trajectory of the process, right, they lost about a half a pound per day with little efforts, little consistency. Consistency is going to be the key to everything you want to achieve. All right? Consistency will change more things in your life than luck ever will. I look at so many people relying on luck, relying on all kinds of different things, and it just doesn't happen that way. You're going to need to be consistent, all right? And one of the reasons why a lot of people fail, right, sadly, is because you know your level of consistency. And half the times you don't even believe yourself. Set small goals, all right? Little things. And then hold yourself accountable to those little things. If it's just a simple thing like, hey, I'm going to eat a salad every day this week. And every time I eat a salad, I'm going to drink a glass of water. And then you do that. The next week, guess what? You know you can do that. You build a little bit of confidence. You have now gotten 1% better. You have changed one thing in your life for the better. And what's even best, if you can add one good thing and take out one bad thing. It's almost like my mother said, your bag of limes and lemons, right? Every time you pull out a bad habit, every time you put in a good habit, try to pull out a bad habit or two. You have to make room for your growth. And the only way you can do that is to do it consistently and systematically. Stop trying to take on too much. Now, right now, we have another 6 months left in 2022. And I keep talking about, what did you do with the first 6 months? Because I know what he did. 83 pounds. 83 pounds. And I remember in the beginning saying, I'll be glad if I could just lose 50 pounds. 83 pounds down. Okay? Now, granted, he had 83 pounds to lose. So everybody's goal is going to be different. But the main thing is, right? He is so much better now than he was 6 months ago. Why? Consistent effort. Okay? Not so much intensity, but it was just a consistent change every single day. He worked at getting 1% better. What are you going to do with the last 6 months of this year? Okay? I can even speak for myself, all right? I remember last year, after I got COVID and, I decided I was going to, you got to get yourself back together. And I said, I am going to be in the best shape that I've ever been by next year for my birthday. Now that's a pretty tall task because I was already in pretty good shape before. And so some people would say, well, just try to get back to where you were. But knowing me, I have to set higher goals for myself. So I said, I'm going to be in the best shape. And I reiterated that to myself the beginning of this year. And I said it again to myself on the end of March. And guess what? Little consistencies every single day. And I'm there. It doesn't take monumental efforts, all right? It really doesn't. It's 1 inch every day, okay? 1 inch every day, and you look up after 6 months, right? You've moved 10 plus feet. What are you gonna do with your next 6 months? All right? Because a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, a lot of times people think this consistency that they're expecting immediate results. We're going to take this away from, let's say, health to business or whatever it is, life. Okay? Sometimes it actually takes 10 years of consistency, 10 years of effort, 10 years of showing up. And when I talk about consistency, I always talk about this thing, dynamic consistency. Okay? Dynamic consistency. What is that? Dynamic consistency is every single day showing up and working, but working consistently and getting better. So a lot of times people look at situations and say, well, you know what? You got to be consistent. All right? And so you come back 1 year later and they're doing the exact same thing, the exact same way. That's not consistency. That's stagnation. If I come back a year from now, I expect that what I saw you doing last year, that you've now improved your process. You've gotten better. Okay? I know of situations, people, and things that I wanted for myself 2 years ago. But because of my dynamic consistency, my continuously putting in effort, my continuously showing up, my continuously getting better, that I actually outgrew those opportunities that passed me by 2 years ago because I was consistent. Okay? I increased my capacity. And because my capacity increased, right, what I qualified for or who qualified to work with me also changes. Don't be so mad about things not working out. Because sometimes, guess what? Because you keep increasing your capacity, you grow yourself out of situations. And sometimes that very opportunity that you're waiting for someone else to create for you, guess what's going to happen when you become dynamically consistent? You create it for yourself. You create your own lane. That's what happened to me. So consistency is much more than just about your health. Consistency can be about everything in your life. You should be always trying to be consistently better. All right? And I always talk about this. Better physically, better mentally, better psychologically, better spiritually. All across the board. My approach to life every single day, every single month, every single year, I challenge myself to get better. Okay? Have better vision. Have better insight. Okay? Just be a better person all the way around. All right? And the only way you do that is to be consistently challenging yourself to do better, to be more. So ask yourself, now that we're approaching the end of this first half of the year, because isn't today the first day? Is today the first day of summer? Or is that 23rd? I forget which one it is now. All right. But we got about 9 days left until we hit the halfway mark. What are you going to do? Are you going to be in the same position coming out to the close of the year, remixing the same promises to yourself? Because the only thing that's standing between you and all the goals that you've set for yourself that you've disappointed yourself about is your willingness to be consistent. Not your capacity now, because we all have the capacity. It's about you being willing. Are you willing to be consistent? Are you willing to put in the effort to get 1% better every day? Stop trying to do too much. I've seen so many people over the years trying to do too much and they fizzle out. Commit to that 1%. All right? Beat yesterday. That's all you gotta do. Beat yesterday. And as long as you consistently, every single day, put in the type of effort that is necessary to beat the person you were yesterday, to be better than who you were yesterday, to be more consistent, to be more efficient, to be in a better position than the person you were yesterday, guess what happens in 6 months? 83 pounds. That's what happens. He wasn't focused on the goal. He was focused on the effort it required to reach the goal. And if you focus on your effort, if you focus on your process, if you focus on the little things every single day, did I do this? How much can I do this better right here? Because once you apply your effort and your time to the little things, and you do those things consistently better, you don't have to worry about the goal. The goal takes care of itself. And many a times you'll exceed that goal. Six months. 6 months left. 2022 can still be your year. 2022 can be the year you changed it. You turned it all around. Or it can be like all the other years where you made promises and nothing happened. And you'll blame everything else in the world. Your schedule, the economy, loss of family, I got whatever it is. Because there's always an excuse, like my mom said. My mom used to say, you can always find an excuse. All you need is one good reason why. All right? All you need is one good reason why. There's tons of reasons why you can't. One reason why. You must. And once you do that, you attach yourself to that and you will be consistent. All you have to do is keep showing up. But show up better. Show up sharper. Show up more determined. And your goals will always get bigger. Because you'll get bigger, you'll get better. All right? You want to transform your life? Be consistent. All right? That's what I use, and that's what anyone else who is willing to be successful, once again, there goes that word, willing, who is willing to be successful, does. So it says, schedule taking care of everyone else except for me. You know, at a certain point in time, we have to accept responsibility that is our fault. Okay? We have to accept the responsibility that is our fault, that we put everything else and everyone else before ourselves. We have to break the habit. And not only do we have to break the habit, we have to stop feeling guilty about having to do that. Because it's necessary. Because at some point in time, we have to accept the responsibility that if we don't do that, we're not even giving them our best. We're giving them some rendition of some discounted version of who we actually could be. I know by my pushing myself to be my best, to show up my best, to show you guys the best of me, does more for you than me giving you some half-baked, discounted, tired-out version of myself. One of the greatest things you can do for anyone in your life is to inspire them, to show them what it's like to be, to perform, to go at things your best. And you can talk all day long about it, but it's a whole lot different when you show it. One of the greatest stories somebody ever told me is that they actually watched me for 6 months show up every single day. And it was because they saw me show up every single day that they made a determination that they had to show up themselves. Never said a word to me. Okay? Never said a word to me. They just watched. They saw dedication. They saw effort. They saw consistency. They saw discipline. They saw the results of those things. And they understood in order to get those kind of results, you got to show up. They saw every single day that I turned the dial a little bit higher. Okay? That's what it takes.